The extracellular matrix is the same thing I was talking about with regrowing limbs. Your junk DNA. It taps all into that. All into that. Because with your junk DNA activated, don't even call it that, man. Your unknown X-Man DNA. X DNA. The shit that makes you an X-Man. Your unknown X DNA. The other 12 strands that makes you an X-Man. It's hidden from you. You see, when them shits are activated, that's when you have the ability to regrow your limbs. Like, okay, like there's tribes in Africa who are pure bloods who can still regrow limbs. You feel me? So, all right, fam, that all has to do with the mRNA. They made a synthetic version, but your mRNA, your messenger ribonucleic acid, tells your DNA, the building block, what to become. So if your mRNA and everything is running in the sequence with the Most High with source, the code is always there. So if you lose a finger, your mRNA automatically goes to your cells and tells them, yo, rebuild this fucking finger. Rebuild bone, rebuild fingernail, everything. That comes back to your mRNA. That's what that's all about. So what they motherfucking did, families, I'm telling you from way back, I'm going to tell you how long they've been working on this shit. They developed a synthetic mRNA where if your finger get chopped off, they sprinkle the powder on your shit. It creates a matrix or a scaffolding for your cells, right? For the mRNA, and then tells the mRNA, instead of healing back and closing off the wound, no, don't heal, grow, regrow. It's just instructions. So that powder has instructions in it, code, that says, yo, regrow the finger, regrow the arm. Don't just die, regrow. See, I showed you guys the videos, the proofs in the pudding. They already made it. See, so anything that they make is a copy of what's in you. The mRNA, your messenger ribonucleic acid, right? Once activated, once your DNA is activated, right? Your mRNA is gonna get the enzyme it needs. Your telomere, which is what carries your mRNA in the cell, right? So your telomere is a tail on the cell, just like a sperm cell. The tail on the sperm cell will be like the mRNA, right? So you have a cell with a tail. The tail is the mRNA, the RNA. And the cell is the DNA, the DNA, the actual material. The mRNA is the tail. It tells the cell what to become. But every time it goes into the cell, it goes, because it's a tail, in order for the cell to get the instruction, it actually goes into the cell, right? The cell takes that code and becomes a skin cell, whatever, right? But then the tail gets shorter because your junk DNA, your so-called junk DNA is turned off. If your DNA was turned on, your body would produce an enzyme that coats your telomere. And your telomere would use that enzyme to regenerate itself. So every time it went into your cell, it would regenerate at the end and still get longer. So it would never die. So the reason you age right now, family, and die and age physically is because your telomere keeps going into the cell regenerates. Then when the cell needs to regenerate again, the telomere goes in again and keeps getting shorter and shorter and shorter till there's no telomere. And then the cell has no instructions, so now you have dead matter just sitting there with no instructions onto what to become. So that's when you start dying. Because if the cell has no purpose, it dies. You understand? You have to have purpose. If you don't have purpose, you just die. You see me? So that's the key to regenerating body parts and everything. Right? It's mRNA. If you have the right, okay, put it like this. If you serve the Most High God and you stay on the path, in the light, and you go along your natural evolutionary path that the Most High set for you, this will occur naturally for you as we awaken. Our third eye opens, pineal, pituitary gland, everything starts to activate. You will start producing the enzyme naturally. And that's what's going on now. That's why I just say even in the Bible there will be no more death. That's why. Because we're going to start producing it naturally. Right? But if you're a wicked who's gone against the Most High God and has poisoned and polluted yourself, and modified yourself in some other means, then you can't get the new codes that's going to turn you on to live eternally. So you're trying to do that shit artificially. So now you're experimenting with this artificial mRNA on the population. They're using the human population as a test for their mRNA, their life extending program. Because, fam, they're really trying to extend their lives. So they need this mRNA code. And they need to figure out how it works. So they're using people as a test to see if their synthetic mRNA will work. And it won't. But that's what the test run is for. That's what all this is for. They're trying to test their life extension formulas. But they don't want to test it on themselves. Right? What I'm telling you guys is next level. You already know. You guys already know. No one talks about this or will talk about this. Nah, they can't. All right? They don't know it. So, yeah, just know that they're trying to test their life extension program with the mRNA. All right? And they're using the people as lab rats to see how it works out, what affects, what happens. But if you stay on the path of Jah, like you serve God, like I'm telling you, that is going to naturally happen for you. Your cells are going to naturally awaken or mutate. Your X genes are going to wake up. And you're going to have, not only you're going to have eternal life, you're also going to have whatever ability that is tuned to your body chemistry, you're going to have that ability. So if you're more tuned to electricity, you're going to have the power of electricity. Some niggas have the power of magnetism like Magneto. Some niggas going to be like Flash. Some niggas gonna be you know what I mean? Like, that's just what it is. Whatever body chemistry you have that tunes to your DNA when it awakens is gonna give you your more maximum power, because it's a variety of stuff. Everyone can't have the same thing. Just like in the X-Men. You feel me, fam? The DNA upgrade is what's gonna cause you to literally live forever. You're gonna live forever physically, no game, because that's why the Bible says that. Your frequency, you guys know this. Your frequency has to be kept up. You have to stay on that path, because once your frequency's up, you can absorb the tones. You can absorb the codes. You absorb the codes, your DNA awakens. Your DNA awakens, you produce the enzymes. Your enzymes will coat your telomere. Your telomere will be able to extend it, keep extending and regenerate the same way your cell regenerates. So once your cell goes through mitosis, and it'll lose a part of its telomere, the enzyme will grow back the motherfucking telomere. So physical, spiritual, eternal life is a fact. That's why Jah say, I didn't create death. It was the jealousy of the motherfucking devil that brought death into the motherfucking, our matrix, our womb, our existence. We did not have that. That's not our part of our plan. We chop. And when we're done chopping in a realm, we just go to another realm. We don't know about no death. Once we outgrow a realm, we just jump to another motherfucking realm. We didn't go through all this bullshit. That's the plan of the fucking adversary, to keep you in trauma, to keep you in the time loop. That's how they create the time loop, through trauma, through death. A fucking illusion. Because physically, we are molecules. We control the motherfucking molecules and atoms. We're consciousness that controls atoms and molecules. Think about it like this. Zion, bang, bang. What up, Zion Marley? Up, brother. Yeah, man. I haven't been watching the comments so much. Sorry if I missed anything, but check this out, fam. Your cells are built. They're built to reproduce. They're built to reproduce. They're built to be infinite. See? That's how your cells were naturally built, to be infinite. So if they're not, then that means somebody came in, tinkered with your shit, cut something off, and made you less than. The Most High, according to the Most High, when your cells were created, your telomeres, just like Henrietta Lacks. Facts, because if she could do it, that means all of us are supposed to do it. Your cells are supposed to have an enzyme, because that's what Henrietta Lacks has that all of us don't. And the doctors and scientists won't tell you this. I'm telling you. They'll tell you now that I'm saying it. But it's an enzyme she had that we lacked. Okay? The same enzyme I'm telling y'all. But even her body couldn't process it, because guess what? She couldn't absorb the codes. Because she was still in this shit blocked from certain aspects of the energetics. That's why she still died of cancer. But her cells still kept replicating. because your cells were running off of the natural algorithm, right? So that same thing that Henrietta Lacks has, that's what we have now. We've got it now. See, so when you guys be like, oh, source God, you're aging in reverse and your telomeres have been reinforced with the enzyme. They're reproducing, you're reproducing skin cells and everything. So even though you're aging and maturing and growing, you're not getting older. You understand? So I'm always going to change because change is the only constant. We all are. But you're not going to get old. You get me? Your cells are reproducing themselves. So even though you're maturing, you're growing, you're just going to become a giant like we used to do back in the days. We didn't get old. We just kept growing until you became a motherfucking giant. That's it. And then when you got sick of this realm, you had to go on to another realm that was more suitable for the size of your energetics. You get what I'm saying? With some more experiences for you that made this shit exciting again, so you didn't get bored and it didn't get monotonous. That's how the Most High designed it. So it's like you graduate from school. You're like, okay, I was in 5th grade. I graduated to 6th grade. But if you did 5th grade 100 times, it gets monotonous. There's no growth. You get me, fam? So we go boom. 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade. But these motherfuckers have been holding us back. That's what the time loop is. It's like you supposed to graduate, and every time you supposed to graduate, they hold you back. So you're doing the same class over and over again until you're just like, fuck this. You know what I mean? You're like, fuck it. I quit. Dropping out. You understand? They make you frustrated because they can't actually stop you. You got to stop yourself. You see me? And that's what it is. See, right now, fam, we're in that time where their shit is fucked. So they're trying to create an artificial means. Like I told you guys, they're trying to create a VR with their false DNA, synthetic RNA. God damn. So they want to create a synthetic settings, fam, where they can live forever. Like how are we going to live forever in the organic settings? You guys get me? The same what we have, they're trying to create. So now we're already living forever, already eternal, already in new earth, already in paradise. We're just manifesting in Shell Beach more and more as we go. They see their shit coming to an end. So what they're trying to do? Create the synthetic version. Y'all don't see it. That's what the jab, everything, the Vaseline's about. It's a test. They're trying to figure out how the fuck to manipulate RNA, their RNA, in order to keep their fucking dead DNA replicating like we do. They want to know how the fuck Source God can still look like how we look. They want to know. For real. You see me? They want to know. They want the formula. I'm 45, bitch. I'm almost 46. They want the formula for that. They want to know. How come? Right? They want to know. And that's what it is. That's the formula. But guess what? Guess what the formula is? The source. Serve Jah, the Most High. Give thanks for life. Be grateful. Don't let Babylon fuck with your head. Stay on the path. That's the motherfucking formula, Jah. You see what I'm saying? So hold the fuck. So them want to try and make that without serving God. But fam, just remember, you have to stay in the light of God. You see, if you don't stay in the righteous path with it, the shit will mutate you to a deviant. I promise you. It'll deviate your mutation because it's frequency based. And once your frequency goes low, it'll start hitting them activated cells and you'll start mutating them the wrong motherfucking way. All right? You become a deviant and not an eternal. You understand? So stay on the eternal path. That's the fucking formula. You see me, family? That's the formula. Serve God, the Most High. I mean, righteous path. Now, I mean, a lot of people take this God thing for some shit they talking about from Rome. That's not what we talking about. We talking about God. We talking about the Most High. You can't describe what the Most High is. All you know is you stay on the motherfucking path where you're serving life, not the anti-life. That's what you know. That's what keeps you on the path. Doing righteousness and being happy. See, and remember what happiness is. It's something you have to work for. It's not something that's just given to you. It's like everything in this motherfucker. Nobody promised you it was going to be easy, dog. You see me? It takes work. Like the wind. What up, fam? I feel like the Most High to us out of here is just fragments of our soul here at this time. There we go. There we are. We're just fragments of the big fire. So the Most High is like a big, huge fire burning, and with the little flames just jump off the fire, or a huge ocean, and then a little droplet of water bounce up. That's what we are. We're never separate from the Most High. Nothing can exist outside the Most High. You understand? And what I know is, all I know is that the architect designed this shit for life to flourish. You see me? Not anti-life. So we go for whatever makes life flourish. You roll with that, and nigga, you get the promise of God, nigga. And the promise of God is eternal life, without no suffering, without none of that shit. See? And Babylon is these fucking monkeys who put all this shit in the way. They're the ones who cause the suffering. No, I tell you guys all the time, if it wasn't for these devils, we already be in paradise. It's them. See? So we have to realize this and learn how to overcome, get out their frequency range. It's part of our lessons. It's part of the teachment of becoming a motherfucking supercell, dog. Right? The Superman, the untouchable. You got to go through the motherfucking furnace. And this was the ultimate furnace, nigga. Chop. You see me? I said, fam? Yeah. So don't feel like you got to be in the murky mire, depressed and sad. I told you all that about that already. The shit in the past is what gets you fucking depressed. Your future keeps you anxious. And let me tell you guys something. Honestly, I suffer from crippling depression. Like crippling depression. For no reason. I just be depressed for no fucking reason. But I know why. It's because I'm an angelic nigga in hell. Think I'm stupid? I know what the fuck it is. But I have to consciously fight that shit off. Or I let that shit take me over and I'll be like, oh, that shit will just cascade. Shit rolls downhill. I just start thinking about every fucking thing that I've been through in this fucked up universe. You see me? In this, the entropy universe. The flip universe where it sucks our energy out. Because we're now in the anti-entropy, but before we were in the entropy universe that was sucking us, right? Now we're in the anti-entropy symbiotic universe that feeds us, right? Zionide, right? But before, in the entropy universe, nigga, that shit was sucking my energy by making me depressed. You see what I'm saying? Always depressed. It's for no fucking reason. There's like crippling depression, like where you want to die depression for no reason. So trust me, it's not like I'm trying to tell y'all that you should have cakewalk. No, it's something you have to work at constantly. Like you have to sit there and be like, no, nigga, fuck that. That's not my thoughts. That's not me. You have to literally be like that. Because they're there, the whisperer, the ibelist, they're all there whispering, fucking with your head 24/7 is trying to get at you like that. Because guess what? Your frequency is what's helping taking the motherfucking whole realm up out of their range. And if the realm's out of their range, they have nothing to feed on. So they got to try to keep you down. Because you're one of the motherfucking elevators, let's say. You get me, fam? Archons are feeding. Yes, Ozzy God. And when you have niggas like us that carry a super generator power, they want your shit more than anything. So they'll hit a nigga like me with all that fuck shit. They'll make sure throughout my life I go through certain little things that make me have to think about it. Just like y'all. See, but we have to get over that. That's why we're here now in council all the time, healing each other and healing ourselves. To overstand this shit, because fam, it's not our thoughts. It's not us. That shit attacks us. Some people get it in different ways. They come at whatever angle they need to get at you with. Cause mine is depression, right? If yours is fucking anxiety, that's another one. Yours could be anxiety, right? Yours could be anger, like real anger issue, or right, or sexual. Some people get sexual. Their depression or their trauma causes them to be sex freaks. Whatever the fuck it is that get you at whatever angle they can get you at from. You see what I'm saying? So mine is depression. For other people it's whatever the fuck, but it's a demon. Same fucking way. There's no reason for it. So we be sitting down like, oh, where my depression coming from? I'm not even sad. There doesn't have to be a reason for it. It's a demon. You gotta just chop that right away. You have to physically fight for your happiness. Fight for your right to be happy. You have to. Against the fucking demonic energies, because it's a fucking war, bro. It's a war. It is. We just gotta chop it down to what it is. It's a fucking war. And we're in the war zone. We're on the front lines. And it's not a war of the flesh. The Jah told you it's a war of spiritual wickedness in high places. So what's that mean? That's going to be do with the energetics, emotions, feelings. That's what that is. That's not no physical war. It'd be easier to be in a war and take a chop, take a cut, than dealing with shit, mental shit that you can't put a fucking finger on. It's easier to deal with a fucking blow to the fucking head or the chest than that. I promise you. That's why they be like mental abuse is just as bad as physical abuse. That's why people, you know that. Because fucking with the mind is just like fucking with the body. You destroy the body, destroy the mind, destroy the mind, destroy the body. It works both ways. You see what I said? So we got to reaffirm ourselves. We strengthen ourselves. You know what I'm saying, family? And just get strong. And remember, the key is to know that the past isn't you. Your past doesn't define you. Your future doesn't define you. Your environment doesn't define you. You're a child of God. Okay? And you're not a product of your environment like these freak-ass psychiatrists try to say. You're a product of the Most High God, period. And everything else outside yourself was just to try to get you away from that. Distract you from that. Oh, period. Selah. Selassie. Yeah, well, that's a spirit right there. You see? Everything outside of that was to distract you from the fact you're a child of God. All this illusionary shit, all the suffering, the torture, the pain, everything was to distract you from that you're a child of God. To make you into a demon, because that's how they create demons. To torture and trauma. See, and everything you see they do on earth to make these mind-controlled demons is what they do to them in hell. To make a full demon. It's the same. All this shit comes from Hell Zone, family. It's the Hell Zone practices. The MK Ultra, the trauma-based mind control is Hell Zone shit. Real shit. The real demons. All right? They in operation and they trying to create a synthetic reality in opposition to our shit. And that's what all this boils back down to come full circle, family. All this synthetic shit is them trying to create a realm for themselves that could be in opposition to what we doing. Because as long as they're in existence, it's going to cause us pain. No matter where they are, even if we're in heaven, as long as their hell exists, it's going to cause us pain to know that that type of reality exists. Why do you think we're here now? Because even though we were home in heaven, we chose to come here. Because as long as this existed, it affected us because we feel it. This shit cannot live. Period. You see me? All right. So y'all get the point now. Everything has to be transmuted in the name of the Most High God. Period. That's it. Every matrix, every fucking reality belongs to God. And that's what we're here for. To make sure so that's the order. That's it. Eternal. Yeah, man. So family, I'm going to check this out. I'm going to roll up, get lit, fall out with the Empress for a minute. I'll see you later, all right? Bang, bang. Zion, big up my brother. Up. Jenna's up. Mr. Mark. Ow. We out of here. Bang. Yeah.